Welcome, one and all, boys and girls, engineers, engineering students, and others to this Ansys simulation software tutorial series. Matthew and I will be teaching you everything we know about Ansys. I will be covering finite element analysis using Ansys Mechanical, and Matthew will be covering computational fluid dynamics using Ansys Fluent. We are both on Liberty Rocketry, the competition team at Liberty University, which is where we picked up our skills. I love Liberty Rocketry and I love Liberty University. It's a great college with great people, great professors, great courses, and a wonderful Christian atmosphere where you can be pushed towards Christ and not away from him. And they offer some good scholarships as well. So, advertisement aside, let's get on with the tutorial series. I'm going to try to condense everything I've learned over the past semester into this short video series so you don't have to do as much sink or swim learning as I did when I joined Liberty Rocketry. I want you to have an overarching view of how ANSYS works as well as knowledge of all the little details and all the little buttons and the little minutia that will just make your life easier. So you have the big picture and you know how to use everything. It might feel like it'll take you a little while to get through this video series, but I assure you it took me much longer to flounder about and try to figure out what actually am I doing in between classes. So you are on the fast track watching through this and going through all of the other materials that I'm linking to in this video. The first time you watch this video will mostly be just familiarization with what ANSYS is, what is the UI, how does it work, and then you should watch it a second time to get all the details. Once you have a framework for just what is ANSYS and how does it work. That way you get familiar and then you can go back and you can pick up all the little details that I've tried to include so that you can just remember everything and really lock it in and be able to use it efficiently. So it's also important to remember that Ansys is not scary. I remember I thought Ansys was scary when our boy Sam first dragged me through an Ansys simulation on like my second day of rocketry, and I was like, what is this? What is going on? I have no idea what's happening here. And then just the whole learning process was a bit crazy from there. But if you follow this and the other resources I'm giving you, it should go pretty smoothly and eventually you'll get a feel for it and you realize Ansys is really not this big, super complicated software that you can't understand and that's really hard to use. It is pretty straightforward and you'll get to the point where you can just pull up a sim and run it in like 20 minutes and get the results for your team. And that's a really useful skill. The fact that you're learning Ansys is going to be great for your resume and just something that other students have expressed. Nobody really knows how to use Ansys except for the competition teams people who are forced to use it. So I encourage you, keep learning this skill, keep developing this, and it's going to be very useful for you. So, what is Ansys? Ansys is professional simulation software. It's big software and it's professional stuff. And it's can pretty much run anything that you need. Ansys Incorporated is the company that makes the Ansys software. And Ansys Incorporated is owned by Synopsys. It's just a little bit of background information. As of the making of this video, the most current version is Ansys 2025 R2. That's the version that I will be using in these videos, and that's probably the version that you'll be using or a later version depending on when you're watching this video. The software includes Ansys Mechanical, which runs finite element analysis, or FEA, which is where you take a structure and you apply forces to it and you see what it does. And it includes Ansys Fluent, which lets you simulate how fluids move through physical objects, like how does the airflow around this rocket's airframe, or through this pipe, or through this pump, or something useful like that. Ansys can simulate pretty much anything in engineering, whether that be buckling, electric, harmonics, hydrodynamics, motion, vibration, structures, acoustics, thermal and topology optimization, and more. There is just so much that you can do with this. Basically, anything you want. I've heard that they have poured their money into their simulation software, the actual under the hood, how things work, and how many different things you can simulate versus their UI, which is why their UI kind of makes it look like it's from 2005. But be assured, looks can be deceiving. It might look old, but this software it's professional, it's very, very useful, and it works very well. The results are very accurate. Some people devote their entire careers to learning and running Ansys simulations. Our boy Luke, the legend among rocketry members, is doing just that, so send prayers. But odds are, if you're a college student or if you're actually on Liberty Rocketry, you'll only know and you'll only need to know the basics of how to run one simulation, maybe two. So we're just going to start with the basics, and that's fine. You'll get your feet wet, you'll get it figured out. And if you need to learn how to run a different kind of simulation later, there is content on YouTube for that. Now, there are a bunch of resources that I use to learn Ansys on YouTube that you may also find helpful, so you don't have to go scrounging around trying to find videos, not really knowing what you're looking for the whole time. So, to speed you on your way, I recommend first Skill Elite Professional. He has some really great stuff. He covers what is Ansys, how to download Ansys, everything about the pretty much anything you need to know about Ansys. Now, I haven't personally watched his videos, but I wish I had. He looks like he's covering everything I'm covering and a good bit more. So after this, I would move on to his content and solidify anything that you didn't understand from this video. Dr. Dalio is really good. He has a bunch of example videos that you can follow along just to get some experience running simulations and getting things working. He doesn't go into detail about what Ansys is or how it works, but he has those example videos, and I get the sense he knows more than I do. So watching his stuff after this will help you solidify your skills. He does use an older version of Ansys, but it's okay. Not much has changed, and his videos are still going to be very useful for you. After that, I would move on to Dihan Patel's course on meshing. He covers basically the fundamentals and the theory behind finite element analysis and what that is and how that works. So that'll just be in the back of your mind and you'll have a bit more of an understanding of that. And it could be useful to help you when you get to meshing with Ansys. That can be useful. And he also covers pretty much everything that I'm covering and that Skill Elite Professional is covering. So to get the same info from three sources is going to be very useful for you. And finally, there is this textbook on ANSYS finite element analysis that I found online that Rocketry sent me. It's probably helpful. I haven't read it, but if you need it, here it is. It may be hard to find elsewhere. And I have to emphasize, do not go pirating things. Pirating is wrong. You should not be stealing content off of the web that is not yours to use. That is wrong and that is rude. The only reason I'm recommending this here is because it is listed for free online on a reputable website. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be listing it here. So there's that if you need it. All of these will be linked in the description for easy access, and of course, make sure to give likes to all of the videos that these amazing people make, because that is our duty as good YouTube citizens. Now, if you manage to get through all of these resources and you still need to go scrounging around anyways, just go on YouTube and search up Ansys FEA or Ansys CFD or Ansys Mechanical or Ansys Fluent, and you should find plenty of tutorials to lead you on your way. Keep in mind that Ansys FEA and CFD, which is same as Mechanical and Fluent, are different, so make sure that you get the one that you need. And the tutorials do not need to be recent because I don't think that much has changed, and I learned a lot from tutorials that were using versions of Ansys that were a couple years old, So it should be fine. There's not that much that's going to vary between then and now, so you can still learn a lot from their videos. And lastly, as you go through this video series, it's a good idea to stop and just mess around, see what everything does. Move something, make something, delete something, even break something, as long as it doesn't do permanent damage to your stuff or the university stuff, just to get a feel for the software. You can always close the software and reopen it and try things again. And the point is, you're getting used to the software, you're just getting familiar with how everything works. So that's all for this intro. As always, may the Lord bless your engineering. Come visit us at LU sometime, and feel free to go ahead and jump into the next video downloading and running Ansys.